Kia ora koutou katoa. Ko tako ingo Viv Hall. I'm actually working for Core Education as a facilitator with Kāhui Ako and centrally funded PLD. And I've been blessed with the capability of working with the South Auckland Catholic Kāhui Ako, which is not as big as the one that you guys are working in, and I've really loved listening to your stories as well. Kia ora koutou. Basically this is a view of a journey that I've taken with a Kāhui Ako in terms of professional development. Now, professional development is often referred to in education as a wicked problem, and this basically means there are so many contradictory facets that it's often hard to solve. Now, I believe the development of Kāhui Ako and the way in which we can decide on our professional learning is a really vital way for education to move forward. So this introduction is really looking at the first phase of our professional development approach, which was a coaching and mentoring for the lead teachers and the cross-col teachers. Often they have come from just being in the classroom and need to feel comfortable and confident when they're working across the Kāhui Ako. And part of our research with Core Education was looking at networks and organic networks or the development of communities of learning, and there were some common issues that came through. One of the major ones was the elephant in the room, what we're not talking about, and often that comes in when you're looking at early childhood, primary and secondary, and melding those two groups together. There were also some issues around achievement and goals and making them smart goals and the confusion that existed. There was also a wee bit of resentment between colleagues, and we needed to sort of try and work out a way in which we could make all those issues not roadblocks. And so that was one of the things that we did a fair bit of work around, making sure that that didn't happen. And as Alison talks about, previously, the why and the focusing on the actual core of the what we are actually here, and the need to make some change, because what we've all been doing in the past, particularly with our priority students, hasn't been working. So change was the word. So we just developed a set of learning intentions and co-constructed these as a group, running a series of workshops that started in term 2. And at the start of it all, we really didn't want things to happen with people falling off cliffs and feeling like they just had to keep up. So one of the major tools that we actually worked on was a co-construction of protocols, and the Joan Dalton's Learning Talk booklets were a great help. So the next couple of slides are basically some examples of the tools that we used to use with the teachers and the cross-cols, and then they would go and work within the schools with the teachers as well. And this was a hopes and fears Padlet that we kept on going back to, and it would surface all the issues that people had when they were first embarking on their development. We then also looked very carefully at a Padlet activity and a Papatangata activity to ensure that everybody had connections across the col, because that was another major issue for people to get to know each other. We also looked at what we needed to do to collaborate, and this was really interesting. A lot of people decided they really needed to see face-to-face their colleagues, but in terms of a big col like you're all a member of, it's impossible. So we now have worked towards hangouts, collaboration, social media, etc., and leveraging off the digital tools. So the impact on the students basically has been largely around their professional inquiries, and that's been quite phenomenal. We've now got some confident and competent coaches, and we're looking at a collaborative assessment across the col for next term. So that's going to be a major issue. I guess one of the main things that you need to focus on is being a change agent. We need to disrupt in order to get transformation. And I guess the main thing that we look at is ka mua, ka muri, looking back in order to move forward. And I think that's the whakatauki that we all hold to, because that's really important. Here's some links that we've used, and go well, people. It's an exciting time out there.